Throughout Black History Month, there have been many initiatives that were started that are meant to help our community now, but hopefully will do so for the next few months and, hopefully the next few years. Initiatives such as increasing racial and social justice through inclusion, wellness, and tech for the good of underserved communities. Joining us to discuss the importance of wellness for the Black community as a whole is IBM's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Lydia Campbell. So first of all, Dr. Lydia, we talk about diversity and specifically diversity and tech a lot. Where does that begin? How do we begin to merge those two worlds?
Well, I think it has to begin in the workplace, right? The average adult spends over a third of their day and over a third of their lives on a cumulative basis engaged in work and at the workplace. So, we have to take the lead on starting to have these very meaningful conversations. And although it can be a challenge to have, conversations about race across thousands of employees in the U.S. and around the globe, I think last year's events with the killing of George Floyd and so many others made this an absolute necessity. I think silence is just no longer an option.
With that said, how can employers support their Black employees, and how is IBM specifically supporting their Black employees?
So at IBM, the COVID-19 pandemic taught us a lot. It really brought to the forefront the importance of health and health equity, access, and many other issues. I think early on for our Black employees, we made sure that they had access. We extended our telemedicine benefit not only to the employees, but to their full households. We also work with our Black diversity resource groups. So we have resource groups in IBM, one for our Black constituency. We organize special lectures and talks to them to deal with some of the issues that Blacks are having with anxiety and trust about testing and around vaccine and vaccine hesitancy. And then through those same resource groups, our Black employees have access to career counseling and coaching, mentorship, and networking across the enterprise. So I think just making sure that they know that their health, their safety, their well-being, and their career development are, priorities for IBM is how we support them.
Awesome. Not just caring about the job that folks do, but caring about the person that is coming to clock in on the daily. Very well done. So now that's the employees. So what is IBM doing to create economic opportunities within some of these local communities that we want to really help out?
Sure. So I want to share quickly, two really awesome programs that we're involved in that really are going to help advance the education, skills, and jobs. The first one is called our PTech program. That stands for Pathways in Technology Early High School. And what PTech is all about is it's a model that closes the gap on global skills by enabling students primarily from disadvantaged backgrounds to earn both their high school diploma and an associate's degree in a STEM field in just 4 to 6 short years. And what's really cool about this is that PTech is a public school model, which means that for participants and their parents, this is at no cost to them, and there aren't any special admission criteria. Another program that we're involved in, which is going to create economic opportunities for our Black communities, is called the 110 Coalition. This is a coalition of executives from 40 companies who have made a commitment to upskill, hire, and advance 1 million Black Americans over the next 10 years into family-sustaining jobs with many opportunities for advancement. And this initiative was co-founded and is currently co-chaired by IBM's former chairperson and CEO, Ginny Rometty. So some very exciting things going on with both of those programs.
Wow. That sounds great because truly, we can't necessarily decide to do something for ourselves unless the option has been created, and you guys have definitely done that for underserved and underrepresented communities. So now let's talk about some ways that technology can solve some of the challenges that underserved communities face, because let's face it, a lot of the inventions that we have came about because of necessity. So how can tech help out?
So, tech really has the power to initiate action. Don't misunderstand me. Tech is not going to solve the years and years of racial injustice that we've experienced in this country. But what we believe is that by getting the right getting technology in the right hands of developers, thought leaders, and problem solvers, that we can begin to close that gap. We have a program that we initiated in 2018 called Call for Code, which was really designed to solve societal issues. And recently, we just launched a Call for Code for racial justice to urge the international community of developers to really get engaged and get into the conversation of really trying to combat racial and social injustice. So right now, there are programs in development that will address things like uh, social and judicial reform, policing policies, accountability. And so our developers will bring these projects to life. And just to use technology in this way, we believe will have a huge impact on, making equality an imperative for not only IBM, but for our communities and for the world. So really exciting things going on with call for code for inequality and justice, racial justice.
Yes. And as long as, technology keeps on evolving, that means our opportunities to help our underserved and disenfranchised communities will continue to grow and expand. So where can folks get more information?
You can get more information on our website, which is ibm.com/be equal.
Well, thank you very much. IBM's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Lydia Campbell. Of course, we can find all of this information on firstcoastliving.net. But thanks again to IBM at the tail end of Black History Month for doing everything they can to help out the most underserved and underrepresented communities. Thanks again, Doctor.